So this is the women's version of a sexual kung fu practice. You might have heard of that term. And men have their own set of practices. The men have weightlifting practices. So here we are with the women, and how we practice to strengthen our reproductive areas is we use isometric contractions utilizing the egg, right? But it's not a Kegel exercise. It's not like you're just squeezing and, you know, stopping the urine flow. It's not that kind of exercise at all, in fact. What we're doing with the egg when a woman inserts it is we are actually utilizing all of our Tao practices, you know, with the breathing and the contraction and drawing the energy up. And that's different from just doing a simple Kegel exercise. It's not this thing going on at all. You're drawing the energy up. So what we do is at first, ladies, you really want to find an egg with a drill hole because you want to string it and be able to take it out as you will, you know, when you need to. But also, another benefit for that is that you're going to be pulling in different directions and doing exercises with it. So let's have an example. So everybody get up. And so let's just imagine, even the men, okay, men too, that you have this Jade, that you have an egg inside of your yoni, and then you can just, you know, you can contract your PC's floor and your perineum. And what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that there's a string coming out. So let's say that we've inserted this. Ladies, you've inserted this egg up here in your vaginal wall. And now there's a dental floss sticking out of it. Okay? So one way to exercise is you're going to be pulling the dental floss in 5 different directions. So, you know, relax. Okay, there it is. The dental floss is coming. Thanks. So the class for the ladies is actually extensive. You know, when we teach it at the Tao Gardens or we teach it as Universal Healing Tao instructors, wherever we go, we really take time and consideration to bring it a practice. So it's like a 3 or 5 hour class. So this is like this is giving you a tidbit. Okay, I don't want you to think this is the class. So this is giving you like an appetizer taste of what it is, what it looks like, why we do it. Okay? So let's say that you have this egg and you're going to be utilizing this with the dental floss. So notice how I folded the dental floss in half and then strung it through. And then it's going to look like a tampon, like a little tampon. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's like this, right? And voila. And then you can tie the end of it at the other end. So one practice, there's many practices with this. So one is, let's say the egg is here. So you're going to stick your tongue out at the same time, just like in the men's practice. I don't know if he showed that slide. Did he show this one? I wasn't here. Okay. Okay. So you're going to hold the string like this really tightly with your hand. And everybody just kind of like bend your knees. We're going to pull in 5 different directions with the tongue sticking out. And at the same time, we're going to squeeze our pelvic floor. But also too, in the concentration of the squeezing, it's not like you're squeezing so much that everything hurts and you're contracting your buttocks and your whole body's in contraction. It's actually a variance, it's a degree. So let's say that you're squeezing at about 60%. What does that feel like? You know, everybody just close your eyes for a moment and just squeeze your perineum and your pelvic floor to what you feel is like an 80%. And now, close your eyes, inhale, and exhale, and squeeze into your pelvic floor at like 70%. And what does that feel like? Okay, and now, inhale, and exhale, and squeeze your pelvic floor at 60%. And what does that feel like? Are you comfortable with that? Okay, so let's say that you want to keep it at about 60 to 70%, okay? So let's inhale. And looking at this, you're going to exhale and slide your tongue out and squeeze, pull on the egg. You're going to pull forward. Good. Inhale. Exhale and pull to the right. Inhale and exhale and pull to the left. And inhale, exhale and pull all the way down. And then one more all the way to the back. Inhale, exhale and pull all the way to the back. And then inhale, exhale, and we're going to do a spiral. And inhale and exhale and spiral to the other side. Okay, so that's one example. And the men have their own practice. So men, I guess you know, for you, you can be gripping at the base of your penis. And you can do the same thing that the women have just done, with pulling in all 5 directions and sticking your tongue out at the same time on the exhalation. So when you're exhaling, you're squeezing, and when you're inhaling, you're relaxing. Okay? I'm sorry? What's that? I can't hear you. Well, in this slideshow, you're seeing just the penis, but actually we also do the base. So the base is the scrotum and the penis sticking out, and just that part where it's attaching. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why do you contract on the exhale and not on the inhale?
Because okay, I'm going to take my shoes off. Because Master Chia can explain better why on the particulars of that. But when you're exhaling, you're more grounded, right? You're more rooted to the ground than the other way around. So the question was, Master Chia, why squeeze on the exhale and not on the inhale?
Oh, no, you have two. One is one we're going to build up energy in the perineum. You use the exhale, and when you move energy up, you use the inhale but short breath. That's the difference. But this one we have penis and testicle. Okay, so all you do is you grab. So if you want the penis longer, what you do? You grab the penis and pull the penis longer. Yes or no? Is that better when your penis get longer? You can urine better, right? And now if you want the testicle and so testicle and penis, so you grab the whole penis, okay, and you suck your stomach up, the same thing like just now. You suck the stomach upward, so it's 2 forces, 1 force up, 1 force down. Okay, you see? The tongue, you have to be long. If you practice down and your tongue gets short, not good. Because when your tongue gets short, what happens to your penis? It's shorter. Yeah. So woman, when you're going to have a date, oh man, let me see your tongue. It's a short time. Okay, let's do this. Okay. You grab, lady the same. So you say you follow her. So you inhale. The one thing you feel, you suck the stomach up and you pull down. One direction and down. So there's one practice, okay? Yeah, very important. This is so good practice. Any question for her? Yeah.
So is it the same as it out, out, then a short breath in to bring it up?
Yeah, you out. Sometimes you have to breathe. And When you finish, one deep breath.
Yeah.
Out all as much as you can. Actually, the whole thing is the stomach flatten down. The stomach flatten down and suck upward. And at the same time, you get one for pull downward, one for sucking upward. Right? Yeah. And now you get the two forces counteract each other. And now because lady and man the same, you have 16 tendons hold the uterus, and man also has 16 tendons holding the penis, especially when you election. You have 4 in the front, 4 in the back, 4 on the side. Otherwise, the penis cannot election, cannot stand up because tendon. So this tendon, if you don't train them, they're attaching to the back here. So when you don't do that, they shorter, and you know what happens? You go like this. It's very pain, and you cannot walk because this tendon are pulling your back. So when you pull, you can feel pain right in the back. That is the tendon that is just shorter. Okay? And when it's shorter, what happens? Penis pulling. Yeah. And that is involved the tongue. The tongue controls all the tendons. Because tongue is a very incredible tendon. Okay? So when you stretch your tongue long, okay? And you pull, okay? Yeah. And train them. Train your penis and the tongue long.
Yeah, a good way to elongate the tongue is the tip of the tongue. If you just imagine that you're going to try and touch a point on your chin, then you can really just, and then it really has a, point of contact, like a purpose, like it's going to try and reach here. So it stretches out longer than if you just stuck your tongue out like, it's not the same. So there are many benefits, ladies, to practicing with this. It regulates your hormone cycles. It creates more juiciness because all the glandular activities are increased. Your capillaries are increased. The practice is every day, actually. So you keep it on and you practice throughout the. You can practice. There's a set of practice that you do with a breast massage and ovarian breathing and meditation. It's a whole process. But in terms of keeping it in the body, I just keep it in all day. I keep it in all day, and I just do my contractions, and I'm doing it now, and you guys don't even know. That's how easy it is. Yes.
How do you know that it's not menopause? Like, how do you differentiate? How do you know?
Well, if you're not experiencing menopausal symptoms, then I wouldn't worry about it, right?
When I wear the egg like all day like that, it will fall out. Is that just because it's like not strong enough yet?
Or it could just be that you're more lubricated. The more you practice with this, the more lubricated you become naturally. And actually, another interesting thing, another finding is that your membrane becomes thicker. It starts to get thicker inside. You know how women, when you get older and you're premenopausal and menopausal, the problems that arise is that your membranes become really thin. And by practicing with this, I can't tell you how many women have, over and over claimed their womanhood, and they're like, oh my God, I have my mojo back. Yeah, it becomes thicker. So anything else? So one of the things that I do is I coach and I teach, privately, and also in small classes, extensively the Jade. So it's like a 3 to 4 hour class, and then I incorporate all the meditation, the ovarian breathing, all of the Tao practices, and and sterilizing, cleansing, and just everything. The whole work. It all depends. It's relative, right? Because if you're practicing with the Tao methods, then your cycle's so low. And you're still vibrant and healthy.
Question from before, but if you don't want to answer. But is there a specific practice for sexual trauma release with the yoni egg, or is that?
Oh, yeah. You know what? The sexual trauma release. Thanks for. Yeah. No, that's a good question. So the things that I find people that have sexual trauma is that utilizing this egg to bring nurture and love into their body for the first time ever, that in itself is incredibly healing. because women that had sexual trauma, even men, they don't even want to look at themselves. They don't even want to touch themselves. It's so traumatic that they can't even go anywhere near this area. So to have a stone that is healing, and they put all their love into it, and slowly and surely they start to love their bodies because they're taking care of their bodies. So by virtue of that, yes, that's healing in itself.